Hi, welcome back to Pray in Tongues, and I'm going to tell you about the interpretation of the dream I received on December 16th, and then I started receiving confirmations of my dream over the weeks as the weeks went by. So, in this dream, I was fighting ninjas, but they weren't really ninjas. They were actually demons that were fighting me, what appeared to be in the physical realm. We all know that demons can attack our mind and our emotions. They can make us doubt, be afraid, be anxious, confused. That's how they attack our minds. But can they attack us physically in our bodies? And that's what I'm going to talk about because of what happened to me after I had this dream. So, about a month after I had the dream, was on the website End Times Prophecy. There's hyphens between end times. And I found there a vision from a little boy, their brothers, Jonathan and Sebastian. And he had a vision of seeing Christians attacked by ninjas and the ninjas were fighting them, but he knew they were demons. So that was my first confirmation of my dream, that this was validated, that I was actually being physically attacked by demons. And then I wondered, well, how do demons attack in the physical? And I knew the Lord was going to reveal it to me. So then on February 10th, I was given an article on Facebook to read. It's called The Battle in the Heavenlies. And it's an excellent um, story, a testimony that you might be able to read if you search that, The Battle in the Heavenlies. And that article was about putting on the complete armor of God that we see in Ephesians 6, that Paul explained to us about putting on, the helmet and all these things. And in my vision, I was not wearing any armor, and neither were my angels. And what I found out in that article was that when we have the armor on, that the angels that God assigns to us, they have on the same armor. But if we are armorless, they are too. That's what it's in that article, and that's what my dream was about too. I saw that. So, um, about 10 days later, I was planning to go to Wednesday night service at my church, and I was gonna go. I felt fine. I'm healthy. When all of a sudden, as I went to go get ready, change my clothes and brush my teeth, whatever, I just had this aching all over my body, and I just felt so tired. I just thought, wow, it's like, am I getting the flu? Because that's what it felt like. And then about an hour later, I had a fever. And my lower abdomen was really hurting. And later that night, I had pain when I emptied my bladder. So I thought, I must have a bladder infection. And I just thought it was weird because how could it come on so suddenly? And the next day, I felt worse. So I told my husband to take me to the doctor because I couldn't drive and I just felt so horrible. So he took me, and the doctor thought I might have urinary tract infection, but my specimen was totally normal, nothing abnormal. And did have a slight temperature, and she just thought, wow, this is weird. She goes, I thought for sure something would show up, but I'll treat you like you do have a bladder infection. Come back in 2 days if you're not better. So I was taking the antibiotics, and I just was not feeling better. I was not worse, but I was not improving. Then on the third day when I was in bed, um, I remembered that article talking about putting on the armor. So I thought, wow, it's like, I need to do that. That's what I felt in my spirit. Put on your armor before you get out of bed. So as I was laying in bed, I prayed. I was praying out loud. I think I put on the helmet of salvation to block any lies, doubts that the enemy will put in my head, to keep me focused on the Lord and on his promises and on his word. Then I put on the breastplate of righteousness. And just before I was going to pray on the belt of truth, right after I put on the breast of righteousness, I felt little fists punching me hard in my low back. And then I thought, what? Then I felt something like either punch me or kick me really hard in my stomach that I actually lurched in bed. I went like oh, like that. And then my spirit spoke out. At that moment, I wasn't even thinking what this was. At that moment, my spirit says, "No, I command you, infirmity, to leave my body now, that I am going to put on the full armor of God, and you shall be gone." And I finished praying on the armor, and as soon as I prayed on this, I put the shield of faith, and then the armor, the sword of truth. At that moment, I felt something like pop out of my body. And then I sat up and I think, wow, I don't have any pain in my stomach anymore. And I jumped out of bed and I felt perfectly healthy, perfect. And I was like praising God, I was giving him the glory, I was just like thanking him. And then I understood that I was in this dream, I was under a physical attack. And that's what happens. You get sick. You get you have pain, you get headaches, you don't feel good when and that's the enemy attacking you when you don't have your armor on. If you don't have your armor on, you're going to get the spirit of infirmities on you, and they're going to keep you from praying, from going to prayer services, from going to church, from anything to keep you from God. But if you have your armor on, you're not going to get sick. And if you are sick and struggling with, these weird pains and weird signs of illness that come on, um, pray on that armor, because that's going to get the that infirmity off of you. That when you believe on that armor, and that by the stripes of Jesus we are healed, and that no weapon formed against us shall prosper, then you're going to be in another level. You're going to be in a mode of battle, that you're going to be prepared for anything that comes your way. And I even have to pray on the armor more than once a day. Sometimes I can feel something coming on me to make me feel negative or angry, and I'll just like stop and I'll put on the armor, because I need like reinforcement. I need to fight this, because right now we're in the end times. The demons and spirits are everywhere, and they're attacking not only non-Christians or non-believers, but they're attacking Christians. And I've have a lot of friends that they fast and they pray a lot, and they also, around the same time that I got sick, some of them got pneumonia, some of them had some intestinal infections, like really weird things that came on to them strongly and suddenly. So I think a lot of it comes to neglecting putting on the armor, that sometimes we just put it on when we think we need it. But this has to be done faithfully all the time. Just like a soldier, you're in the army, you're in the earthly army of Christ. Right now you are. We all are, that love Jesus and are waiting for him. And just like a soldier has to be totally prepared for war, they have their guns clean and ready to go, they have their ammunition. We have to do the same thing too. We have to wear that armor and stay in the word and read the word, believe it, speak it, live it, and you're going to be one step ahead of the enemy. But he will try a lot of different things to make you fall back, into sin, or just, like, oh, I don't feel good, so I'm going to just skip church tonight. I'm feeling sick, my back hurts or whatever. No, just pray that I've gone to church feeling like that. And when I'm in that service, that pain goes away and I feel better. And, and we need to be ready at all times, because the enemy is sneaky. The agents set traps, and they are watching, and they'll see what weakness in your armor, that weakest link, and they'll work on that. And in mine, it was that I wasn't protected, and I got sick um, for no reason. And it wasn't really, I wasn't really sick. I was being attacked. So I hope this helps you, and I hope you watch part 3 for the second part of the dream. If you, God bless.